All right, Sebastian Milo with Sportico here with Mr. Zach Leonsis. Obviously, a lot of people know the marquee sports teams in your portfolio, right? The Capitals, the Wizards, the Mystics. Talk to me a little bit about maybe the lesser known sports or investments in your portfolio and why people should know about them.
Well, yeah, obviously, I think most people know us for some of our big name brand teams like the NHL's Washington Capitals, the NBA's Washington Wizards, the WNBA's Washington Mystics. But we also have a variety of additional brands in our portfolio, brands including Team Liquid, which is one of the largest esports teams on planet Earth. They're an international organization doing over $65 million in revenue. They're a break-even business. They've got close to 300 employees. They've got headquarters in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and Amsterdam, and Los Angeles. They've been consistently the winningest franchise in all of esports on a global basis. And we've now been investors and partners with Team Liquid, almost 10 years. So it is amazing. When we first invested in that team, we thought it was primarily players in a gamer house and about $1 million in revenue, and they've come a long way, very sophisticated operation. And I still think that they're reaching a brand new generation of fan and a community of interest that traditional sports aren't reaching into. We've also got a variety of different investments in streaming companies, platforms like ViewLift, which has become a leader in direct-to-consumer digital development for a variety of different teams. Obviously, there's a lot of change in the regional sports network world, and so ViewLift as a digital development company has been a great solution provider for streaming, SVOD, pay-per-view, or AVOD services and whatnot. We recently made investments in companies including Collect, which is Darren Ravel's collectibles media business. He has figured out that is really a brand leader to build a full platform on to sort of do a deep dive on the collectibles market, to provide consulting services, to launch commercial products. I think that Darren, Steve Ziff, and their team really understand all the nuance that comes with collectibles. It's not as simple as just saying, hey, we've got 100 of these, let's sell them. And they've also been very conscious and thoughtful about helping teams preserve history. And, one of the things that I think we sometimes take for granted is that our leagues are, in the NBA's case, over 75 years old, in the NHL's case, over 100 years old. And there's great history that we live and breathe every day with our teams. And so preserving some of those great historic artifacts is really exciting. And we made a recent investment in a company called The Nine, which is a platform that we think will eventually become the winner and the leader in women's professional sports coverage. Obviously, women's professional sports has been booming over these last 3 or 4 years. And, we stand to guess that there's going to be a great brand leader in terms of who covers professional women's sports the best. And so we're really impressed by Howard Megdal and his team. We've helped them source some business personnel, and so they're growing their platform out as well. But, we think about our business, the larger Monumental Sports Entertainment holding company, as a platform business. We're fully integrated. We're either looking at larger private equity style level investments where we can do a buyout and fully integrate into our platform, but we're never going to hesitate to find sort of newer venture opportunities that we think we can give a strategic advantage to, that we can leverage our platform to advantage, that we can become a customer of, and that, hey, maybe one day they could grow to a size and scale that we could acquire and fully integrate into our business. And so we're attracted to high multiple growth industries, and that matches how we think about ourselves, I think, as sports as an asset class. And so adding to that platform in the future, creating a pipeline for those additions, I think, is an exciting strategy for us to pursue.
You mentioned the ViewLift joint venture essentially with Monumental. Talk to me a little bit about the impact it has on local sports media for those who maybe don't know, especially fans.
Well, I think that for the majority of teams out there, they've always relied on having a third-party partner, whether it be an NBC Sportsnet or back in the day a Fox Sportsnet, a FanDuel Sports Network. Over the last 3 to 4 years, we've seen probably over a dozen teams either receive their rights back, acquire their rights back, not renew a partnership, and try to go their own way and forge a new way of distributing their content. And it's hard. It's hard to learn on the fly, and it takes a lot of time. When we bought our network back from NBC Sports, we went on about a 20-month journey to build out our own infrastructure, to build out our own production plan and studio, to build our own digital streaming platform, to launch our own brand, to launch our own programming strategy and the like. And we were fortunate to acquire all the distribution agreements that NBC had. We were fortunate to bring on all the employee base that came with that network. We were prepared in terms of our education of what is happening in the industry and how it works. Not all teams are in that position. They don't have the infrastructure, and perhaps just as challenging, they've got a shorter shot clock above their heads. Some teams are finding out that they've got to launch a solution within 4 or 5 months, and that's a really difficult task. And so, we want to help teams as a partner set them up for success by providing them with production services, consultation, whether they want to choose a model that features cable as an RSN or OTA or digital and streaming or a combination of any and all of the above. I think that every market is different. Every team has a bespoke need. And so, we really want to take that into consideration and be thought partners and helpful to folks. And I think ViewLift obviously brings a very complementary skill set in terms of their digital development capabilities, which the vast majority of teams certainly don't have in-house.
No, 100%. I mean, it's only an asset to have that. Speak to me a little bit about the infrastructure, right? Obviously, a lot of people know about the stadium renovations. What can fans look forward towards, in the coming years with that?
Yeah, this is obviously a really exciting time for us. It's a abnormal transitional time for us. We are in the middle. We've just completed the first year of a 3-year transformation, and it's $1 billion project. This is not an immaterial sort of lipstick on a pig exercise. This is really creating a brand new experience on every single level of our arena. We're going to be expanding our footprint from 900,000 square feet to 1.6 million square feet. In this first summer, we totally ripped apart and redid our basement, event level, parking garage, mezzanine level, our player areas, our VIP hospitality areas, our back of house, our truck bays, our electronics, our technology, our HVAC, our dehumidification system. It's probably the hardest, grittiest, messiest summer that we had to embark upon, but it sets everything up for the next couple of summers. And so next summer we'll begin to redo all of the concourse levels, the exterior facade will begin to be constructed and whatnot. And so I think in the next year to 2 years, obviously when the project is complete, people are going to walk in and they're not going to recognize what they see. We're expanding our kitchen capabilities by probably 1,000% in terms of actual space and capabilities and whatnot. We're increasing our number of premium SKUs from 13% to 38%. We're enhancing the 400 level experience by expanding concourse levels, creating new food opportunities. We really want everyone to walk in and feel like they're experiencing a brand new building. This is something that we feel a great responsibility to get right because it's something you do once every 25 to 30 years. This is not a ordinary course of business project that we're taking on, so we really have to be thoughtful. And the good thing for us, because we're in the same place, we have the exact data points of how our customers interact with our building, what they ask us in terms of the kinds of experiences that they wish they had that they didn't have today. So a lot of the things that we're developing, they're in response to the demand that we see and sometimes the supply that we can't provide today. So we're getting more space, better food quality, bigger spaces, better experience. It's really an exciting opportunity. I think when the project is complete, it'll be the very best arena in all sports.
No, of course, that's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for many fans. And last one for me, this is more general, maybe just as a sports fan yourself. What would you say is maybe one of the most influential sports investments of your lifetime, or maybe even the last 20 years, if easier? I mean, it's not an easy question,
but the most influential sports investment in my lifetime has been buying these teams. And so, if you look at sports as an asset class between 1960 and today, sports have outperformed private equity, the S&P 500, real estate investments. And, these teams have demonstrated a great durability to withstand financial turbulence, recessions, pandemics, and the like. It's an alt class from that standpoint. It doesn't always correlate People talk about it as a trophy asset. I think that we're evolving from talking about these teams as trophy assets to really being much more sophisticated SaaS platforms, highly predictable recurring revenue sources, and that's really exciting. Over the course of my 15 years with the organization, I think we've come a long way in terms of our professionalization, the way that we treat our partners and our investors, the way we communicate, the processes and the workflows that we have in terms of operating our day-to-day business, and that's just going to continue to flourish as we get a more sophisticated investor, as we get more private equity, as valuations continue to climb. There's a serious role and responsibility that we have to play there, and we're ready to do that.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
Great
you.
to see you. Thank
Likewise.
you so much. Appreciate it.